Hello. Today we're going to look at this hydroelectric unit. I have it turned off right now and I'll turn it on. The reason why it's off is because the house is up there and I have solar panels and they are charging my batteries right now, so I don't need this system operational at this point. So to save wear and tear on the system and to save water, I keep it turned off during the day and only turn it on at night. But I will turn it on right now. I have a disconnect here that disconnects the juice from this to the batteries up at the house. And so I turn it on first, and then I turn the water on. As you can see, it's running a little less than 10 amps, which is partly the batteries are mostly charged, but it's also the nozzle size that I use on this unit. And what I'll do is let it run for a second so you can hear it's a little bit noisy, but not real bad. And then I'll shut it back down. I'll show you how easy it is to change the different nozzle sizes. To take it apart, all you do is take these 4 wing nuts off. No tools are needed. You don't have to have wrenches or anything like that, just your hands, and I think everybody keeps them with them most of the time. So take the 4 wing nuts and washers off. Then you just lift the unit out. You can see the Pelton wheel. This is what powers it. When the water jets shoot against this, it spins it. And that's all there is to it. So I set that down. And see, in order to change the nozzle, all you have to do is reach inside. And they're right there, we can get to them. Nothing but your hand. They don't need to be any more tight than hand tight. There's your nozzle, that's all there is to it. You just pull it out of the housing and you can screw it right back in, and all you need to do is just make it hand tight. That way if you ever need to change it again, it's hand tight and you can pull it right out. It only takes that long to do it. So I'll put the unit back together. Disconnect it. There's not a whole lot to it. It's a very simple procedure. Doesn't take much to take it apart and put it back together. Just a few minutes and no tools, which makes it kind of handy. Some of the units that I've seen on the internet, which by the way are priced a lot higher than these, they take special tools, and then you have the fact that your nozzles can't be changed because you drill them out to the size you want or cut them off to the size you want, and once you've cut them off, then of course you're done. You can't go any smaller size. The nice thing about these is, like say, it just takes a few minutes to change them, and all the tools that you need are just your hands, and you can change out the nozzles. Each unit comes with its assortment of nozzles. Of course, 2 together at a time because you want to keep them both the same size. You want to go through and put them in and then check and make sure of what flow you have and see what size nozzles you can handle. The bigger the better. The bigger nozzles are like these, then the faster it's going to spin, the more electricity it's going to produce, as opposed to the smallest ones, which are for a less amount of water. This will slow it down to where if you don't have your pipe running full, it'll still spin it. It just won't put out as much electricity, as much amperage. The distance, the amount of pipe that you have, and the amount of drop that you have determines what unit you actually need. And our units are custom made. You give us the specs of what you have and how much water flow you have, how much drop you think you have to where you're going to run your pipeline from the source, and what size pipe you're going to use, and then we can pretty much make sure that you've got a unit that's capable of handling what you're able to bring in as a water source. Well, as you can see, this is the creek that is running down that we're piping from. You can see there's not a whole lot of flow of water right now. So the amount of water that you have may not seem like a lot, but if you've got the elevation of drop so that you can come from up high, even though you don't have very much water, it's still going to be enough to handle the unit. So even on a small flow like this is right now, because of the amount of drop that I have, which is about 100 feet and about 500 feet of pipe, then that's what gives me enough to run that unit. The pipe is coming down here at a fairly good slope. Every little ways I've made sure that I get it supported by something, whether it's rocks or trees or whatever, but I try to support it as it comes down. Here it's going under the culvert of the driveway, and then I run it through the trees and supporting it down through here, and then it's heading down. We're about 200 feet from the unit itself right now. So now we're up here by the source, which is just this little creek. Sometimes simple and easy is the best way. The way I've got it set up, I just put the pipe right in the creek. I just elbowed it into this tank, just left it open on top and threw a screen in here, weighted it down with a rock. The nice thing about it is you can just pull the screen. If you got any sediment, it goes to the bottom. If you're picking up any sticks or leaves or anything out of the creek, they get stopped by the screen. They don't go down your pipe and they don't go into your nozzles.